$500 cash bond then. Given this history of non-appearance, it's the state's position that cash is now necessary.
Okay,
Can I speak on my objection?
and what would you like to say about bond?
I actually think this case should be dismissed right away because my Fourth Amendment right was violated.
Well, the issue today is bond only, so if you wanted to speak to bond, I'll hear what you want me to.
Well, as far as the bond, I've never skipped out. I lived here. I have my family, my wife here. I do not plan on running. I'm going to face this head on. So I think the $1,000 bond is a bit much, seeing that they took all the money that was in my house and I have no cash. So I feel like that's already a shot against me. It's been made to where I cannot defend myself. I have been locked up illegally because I'm the executor of the Office of Anthony Griffin. I am not Anthony Griffin.
Ooh, they've got the wrong guy. This isn't Anthony Griffin, the accused fentanyl dealer who's facing 100 years in prison. This is the executor of the Office of Anthony Griffin. They both need to read our book, I Do Not Consent. It may not get them out of trouble, but it sure will save them the profanity-laced angry tirade the judge is about to deliver. I Do Not Consent, your guide through the labyrinth of fallacies, fantasies, and fiction that is the sovereign citizen movement. Order your copy today. Scan the QR code or click the link below.
Fictitious person in the corporation, which I am in control of, but not am. So let that be on the record. And on top of that, I wasn't read my rights. After investigation, I'm supposed to be read my rights.
Well, that's not relevant for
Okay,
today.
I'm just letting it be known.
All right, anything else from the state?
No, thank you, Commissioner.
All right, it would appear from my review of the criminal complaint that Mr. Griffin faces up to 100 years of incarceration if maxed out.
Once again, I
I know.
object. I am not Anthony
Well,
Griffin.
you don't have a basis to object.
I
And
do.
if you're not Anthony Griffin, then we got the wrong person here and we'll have to come back tomorrow and deal with Anthony
That's
Griffin.
actually not.
Do you want to deal with Anthony Griffin now
That's
or
actually
tomorrow?
not how this works.
No, I tell you how it works.
Not
You want to
true.
appear today,
The
Anthony
executive
Griffin?
of the office.
Hold on.
As
No,
officer of court.
I'm not playing that garbage
I'm not playing
crap,
garbage. crap.
sovereign
Law is
citizen
law.
bullshit.
I'm not sovereign.
Listen,
citizen. I never said
listen.
I-
Shut up.
I'm not gonna shut up.
Then go back to the cell. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll deal with you on Friday.
At the end of the day.
We'll deal with you on Friday, Mr. Griffin.
Let's
If
get
you
it
don't want to
off.
respond as Mr. Griffin, we'll
I'm
deal
not
with you on
Mr.
Monday.
Griffin. I am Anthony.
And then we can deal with you on Tuesday. And we'll deal with you on Wednesday. That's the way it works. Al, hire an attorney and sue the county. All right, we're done.
Yeah. It's not me, it's like what it is. No. I just actually want, yeah, I mean, it's there. Just makes some sense. Good night. No, it's.
All right, we'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Anthony Griffin Jr. It's 24 CF 907 appearances.
ADA Jackie Frank for the state.
Commissioner,
I'll
Mr.
be
Griffin
defending
in
myself.
person and in custody.
I guess
he would
Mr.
like
Griffin
to
wants
have the
to
right to defend
proceed
myself.
pro se.
He's
Yes.
pro se.
Let the record show that I am Anthony, a living and breathing human man and the executor of the Office of Anthony Griffin's estate. And who gave you guys permission to access the estate?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know,
Do we have the correct address in your copy of the complaint?
I'm gonna ask again, who gave you guys permission to access the estate?
I don't know what you're talking about in regards to the estate.
Oh, you don't understand what I'm talking about? Are you not sworn to uphold the Constitution?
Yes, and I have no idea what you're talking about
It's a
in
probate
regards to
court?
an estate. This is not probate court. So, Mr. Griffin, do we have a good mailing address for you?
You do have a good mailing address for me. These charges should be dropped immediately because the warrant was signed on the 12th and they had a 42-hour window to actually operate on the warrant, and I was picked up on the 16th. And the constitutional law states that you only have 48 hours in order to actually come and get me. And y'all responded in 96 hours. This case should be thrown out immediately.
Okay, well, the good news for you is you haven't been bound over at a preliminary hearing yet. So you don't even have to worry about any of those motions. In fact, you can be bound over on inadmissible evidence at a preliminary hearing. So we're going to see what happens with the preliminary hearing and we'll address bail I've reviewed the complaint. I will find probable cause. We'll get not guilty pleas entered to the misdemeanors.
No, I will not plead
There's
guilty.
a,
Pleading guilty is actually agreeing to be prosecuted. I am not agreeing to being prosecuted.
Well, the law says that if you stand mute, I'm to enter not guilty pleas on the misdemeanors. That's what I've done. There's a PSA. It recommends a signature bond. I don't know if
Let the
Mr.
record
Griffin
show that
got
I
a
do not
copy
agree
of
to
that.
being
Attorney
prosecuted.
Benavides, can you see if you've got that to make sure that he gets that? All right, and we'll hear from Attorney Frank.
The state is recommending $1,000 cash bond, non-monetary conditions to not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia, and to not use or possess any dangerous weapons. As to the argument for cash, the defendant failed to appear for a status conference on September 17th, 2021. He was returned on warrant December 27th, 2021, and he posted $250 cash bond. He failed to appear on January 24th, 2022 for a status conference. Return on warrant was February 28th of 2022. He posted $500 cash bond there. Due to the history of non-appearance, it's the state's position $1,000 is the minimum required to ensure he appears for court.
All right, and what's your position on bail?
Are you aware that the quickest way for you to get disbarred is to tamper with the all caps name, Anthony Griffin? My estate, the estate associated with me?
All right, well, speak to the court,
No,
sir. and
I want to make
your,
sure that she
bail
knows that,
argument.
because if she doesn't back down, I will write a letter to the Bar Association. So I'm just letting you guys know exactly what's going on. I want all of this on the record.
Okay. Everything's on the record, so
Okay.
make your bail argument.
My bail argument, I have not ran. I've faced court every single time I've had to come. The only time I've missed court is in El Dorado, Illinois, which I had no present way to get there. I would never run from the court. If anything's the situation, I'm coming and going to show up. There's no reason for me to have to pay a bond when I was illegally jailed and searched and criminalized and arrested in front of my child. So that's my position.
All right, and Attorney Frank, do you want to speak to why $1,000 is sufficient? It looks like 104.6 grams of cocaine was allegedly found, and it tested positive for fentanyl.
Well, Commissioner, the PSA did recommend a signature bond, but certainly if you believe higher cash bond is required, I will defer to your judgment.
All right, and sir, anything else you want to say about bail?
I already told you I shouldn't have a bail. I shouldn't even be in court today. And I think you all know this. And everything's on the record. So
All right, everything is on the record. Well, you're looking at significant exposure here. Allegedly, there's a couple of controlled buys, then there's a substantial amount of cocaine that's found.
once again, none of that
Tested
matters.
Positive. We can't talk at the same time, sir. I gave you an opportunity multiple times to say what you had to say. And it also allegedly tested positive for fentanyl. This is a much higher amount than we typically see in state court. It is not uncommon for these cases to kind of just be a placeholder before the feds take over. I don't know whether that's going to happen, but there's certainly that potential. I think that increases the incentive not to appear here in court. There's also weapons involved. I see this as a cash bail case. He's failed to appear 2 times in the last 3 years or so. I'm going to set $5,000 cash bail. I'm going to order that you not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription, in order that you not use or possess any dangerous weapons, as that term is defined by the state statutes.
I
I
object.
assume you'd like a preliminary hearing within the next
I
10
object to
days?
everything that you're saying. I object to all things that you're saying.
Okay.
Yesterday, you guys pulled me into court and did the same thing and tried to give me $1,000 bond. And now you're trying to scare me by boosting up the bond to 5,000 when this is all illegal.
Okay,
And-
well, I wasn't here
And
yesterday
being that the
talking
executor of
about that,
office
but-
is the highest office represented in court today, I demand it to be dismissed with prejudice and everything taken from me as far as my money and property be returned to me immediately.
All right, well, there's no legal basis to dismiss the charges here. Some of the things that you've raised would be potential suppression issues. Those would need to be raised if you get bound over at a preliminary hearing. We'll see whether that happens or not, and we'll get that hearing set within the next 10
I
days.
object once again.
And that's fine.
Once
We're
again,
adjourned.
you guys have 48 hours. I'm not done. Once again, you have 48 hours to act on the warrant that is against my constitutional rights. 48 hours. You guys came 96 hours later. That is against the statement here for the signed warrant by the judge. And it's on the constitutional law. And you guys are still trying to act like you have a right to proceed with bail. this should be dropped immediately and dismissed immediately.
Sir, I
Not touching it,
already
touching
sir, I
official
already
officer.
explained that. You'll need to file the motions if they're actually able to bind you over at preliminary hearing. Those are not at issue at this stage of the proceedings. We're adjourned.
If you guys touch me, you'll be touching the official officer.
Please go this way. You to walk over there on your own motion.
Is this court case dismissed? So why would I leave?
Not dismissed, we're adjourned, and you'll have another hearing.
I do not want another hearing. This should be dismissed immediately. My constitutional rights have been,
Telling you to stop. That's you to leave right now.
if you guys touch me, you'll be touching the officer. We'll be touching the officer of the court. Okay, so I'll be getting all your badge numbers and everything. Okay?
We're always trying to improve our channel. In the comments, please let us know if you prefer to watch sovereign citizens confronting judges or confronting police. Here are some other videos we think you'll enjoy. If you like this video and would like to help our channel grow, please click like, leave a comment about this video or a general comment about our channel or our book, and please subscribe.